everybody. We are live down at a city press conference to talk about this new youth young adult opportunity spot. It's called The Spot. So we're going to be hearing from the mayor and other city luminaries. Sit tight for just a minute. JCTC effort, folks. And the whole concept here is to get people. Here's Corey Arthur, Councilman Arthur, just took a seat. Mayor is freely shaking hands, although he's wearing his mask. This is an indoor space, and masks are required. It's a JCTC property. We're getting started in just a minute.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out for our exciting announcement today. We are here to officially open the new headquarters of The Spot, Young Adult Opportunity Campus right here at Jefferson Community College, and to celebrate our new partnership on this initiative with Goodwill Industries. So let's hear it for that. You know, the facts are that getting an education and finding a solid footing in the workforce can be difficult for anybody. And imagine on top of that, sometimes the usual stress and uncertainty that is part of life way too often. There's a lot of life barriers that can get in the way as well, like transportation, criminal justice system involvement, lack of resources, lack of housing, all kind of things life throws at you from time to time. And so these are the kind of obstacles that some of the young folks here at The Spot are working hard to overcome each and every day. Many of our clients here have not had the type of support system that they deserve and navigate through these difficulties. And at the root, that's what The Spot provides, a support system to help folks. It's a place where teens and young adults in the Louisville region can access a comprehensive set of resources, including paid internships, job training, certifications, GED prep, leadership development training, mental and behavioral health services, the list goes on and on. But even more importantly, they can connect with a community of both adult counselors and peers who understand what they're going through and will lift them up. The facts are that nobody really has had a unique experience. And we are all kind of unique, but a lot of times these experiences are shared by people. So you're not in it alone is the message. There's people here to support. And when you're trying to overcome what can sometimes seem like impossible number of things to overcome. Life can get pretty complicated. And having a caring person to rely on and help guide and encourage you through that process is really critical and something the city and all of our partners are proud to support. We saw great examples of this just a week ago when we celebrated the new location of the Kentuckiana Works College Access Center downtown. One individual who had been homeless and in serious addiction issues, now been sober 8 years, getting a master's degree, got an awesome job. He didn't think it was possible. Another young woman, a refugee into this city, had to have help navigating through college, getting into college because her family simply just didn't know how to do it. But she was smart enough to ask for help. And that's what smart people do. They ask for help and there are people there to help them. The key to the Access Center and this one right here is all about removing barriers. Keeping folks who want to improve their futures from being sidelined by situations that with the right help can be overcome. And as I said at the College Access Center opening, that's important because we know the number one way to break the cycle of poverty is a post-secondary degree or a credential. And we need to do all we can to help people achieve that opportunity. So it could be a 4-year degree, it could be a PhD, it could be a credential. The important thing is to get something so that you can get a family supporting wage in your toolbox. So this is a good thing, obviously, for you all as individuals, but it's great for our community as well. Now, before I go any further, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the team here at SPOT. I've met many of y'all coming in and the life-changing work that they're doing. So if you're a staff member here at SPOT, if you'd raise your hand so we can say thank you to you all for the work that you're doing. Spot swag that you see that going on. And we're going to hear from one of the program managers here shortly. I also want to recognize the young adults, our young leaders with us here today, who are the clients here at SPOT. More than likely, you've already faced some adversity in your lives, more than most people your age and more than you deserve to face. Now it's a new day. You've got an opportunity to be a role model for your family and for your peers and for you to look in the mirror and say, I'm doing something always want to do with your life. So it's a big day for you all. Thank you to your all's leadership. Folks here at the SPOT are making sure you stay connected. Please stay connected with the team because sometimes, as you all know, life throws you all kind of weird things and you can just say, I'm just not going today or I'm not making that call. When that little voice is in your head, just say, I'm not listening, come here to the SPOT, okay? They got your back. They're going to help you. It's not the first time anybody's been through something like this before. It can feel overwhelming, but there's help here. So you're part of the next generation of leaders of our city, and we need y'all to be ready. We want to do anything we can to help. Help comes with partnership, and the SPOT is a collaboration amongst many organizations, but the two leaders here are Kentuckiana Works, our region's Workforce Development Board, and Goodwill Industries of Kentucky. So I'd like to invite first Kentuckiana Works Executive Director Michael Britton up to say a few words about that partnership. Michael.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Michael Britton. I'm the Executive Director of Kentuckiana Works, which is the Workforce Development Board and agency for Louisville and the 6 counties around it. And just a teeny little history lesson. Kentuckiana Works, the board, got a big federal grant back in 1998. Before some of you were born, that gave us money to serve people living in downtown Louisville and in West Louisville, particularly 16 to 24-year-olds who weren't in school and weren't working, what we call disconnected youth or disconnected young adults. And ever since 1998, Kentuckiana Works, the board and the staff, have been funding and overseeing and running the biggest program in Louisville that serves young adults just like you. We've called it different things. It was called the LION, Louisville Youth Opportunity Network. It was called the Youth Opportunities Unlimited Center. It was called the Kentucky Youth Career Center, and now it's called the SPOT, the Young Adult Opportunity Campus. But in all of that thread, my board and the staff and the people that work for Kentuckiana Works really want young adults to understand we care about you and we know that we can get you on the right path. If you're not in school and not working, we know we've got to get you working, and a lot of times to get you working, we got to get you in school or into some sort of training program. That's what we do, and that's what we do with organizations that partner with us like Goodwill is doing here to provide that kind of opportunity. So I want to make sure you know we love this work, we're passionate about it, we've been doing it for more than 20 years. I want to say a big thank you to Mayor Fisher and to the Metro Council, who you will hear from in a minute. In some cities, the only funding that they get to run a program like this comes from the federal government, but the federal government hasn't really been investing in young adults like you in the way they should. So sometimes when you have enlightened leadership, you can get the city to put funding in on top of that federal money. Mayor Fisher has been a leader in encouraging the Metro Council to do that. Councilman Arthur's been one of the voices on the council who's been talking about that. We're really grateful for that. So can you give it up to both of them? Lastly, I want you to know there's a big focus and interest in our community now about youth violence and young adult violence, and there should be. The numbers are terrible, and we all know that we want to try to do something about that. But we also know that there are a lot of young adults out there who are not perpetrators or victims of violence, but maybe living in neighborhoods or families that are being affected by the trauma that that causes, right? And so whether you're somebody that knows somebody that's involved in that wants to try to get them to get their life going in the right direction, or whether you're just, you know, somebody that may be living in a neighborhood or a family that's been affected by that somehow, we want you to tell them the spot is the place to send them, right? I know Monique Williams is here from the Mayor's Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods. We've had good conversations with her and her team. We're going to be trying to knit together as much as we can all of what we're doing at the spot with all of the outreach efforts that her team will be doing to try to send that signal. If you want a different life, we can provide it for you, and the spot is the place to come. So again, we're really excited about this opening. We want to say a big welcome to you for being here. And again, thank you to the Mayor and the Metro Council for the support to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Now, Goodwill is the spot's other local lead partner. Goodwill's been stepping up for the community in so many ways, and we really appreciate the great leadership of Amy and the board, Rena. That's just been really making it happen and bringing an incredible amount of energy and expertise to this project as well. So I'd like to invite Amy Luttrell, the President and CEO of Goodwill Industries of Kentucky, to share a few words with us.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher, and thank you, Michael. This is the Young Adult Opportunity Center, and I love that word opportunity. It's one of my favorite words. It means that conditions are right for success. So that's our goal here, to make sure that the conditions are right for the success of the young people who come here for some assistance. You know, I always say I don't know how to motivate people. After all these years in this business, I do not know how to motivate people, but I do know that many times when you remove the things that are demotivating people, look out.
Yeah.
They will knock your socks off with what they can do. We have a new strategic plan, and one of the name of that strategic plan is Pathways Out of Poverty. And one of the objectives in it says start early. So what that means is start early for greater effectiveness. Start early before a lot of things have happened that have to be undone and walked back. So that's what we're trying to do by really giving a greater emphasis on providing some of those supports for young people and for making sure that they can see that some things that they never even really thought about are real possibilities for them. I just talked with two young men a few minutes ago who told me that they're about to enroll in JCTC and IT, and one of them said, I didn't even know what that was, IT. And we see many people who never thought college was a possibility for them, who never thought of themselves as having a career or a job in anything other than an entry-level position. And so we are here in this partnership with Kentuckiana Works and with JCTC to make sure that each one of those young people knows there are lots of possibilities for you. Employers are dying to hire you. They can't wait to hire you. All they want is somebody who's willing to show up, learn, work hard, get along with other people, and the sky's the limit for you if you will do that. So that's the job of our team here. Working together with you is to just open up some of those possibilities for you so that you know they're there. Make sure that you believe those can happen for you, and just provide a little guidance along the way. So we love this. We're a statewide agency, but we pilot a lot of things in Louisville because this is our headquarters town. So this is a great thing, and we look forward to even maybe doing some similar things in other parts of the state. I know that the team here is going to do a great job of capitalizing on the fact that we're able to be here right on the campus of JCTC. So if you've never been on a college campus before, or you never thought you could go to college, you're already here. So thank you for all of our team who work so hard to make sure that young people believe in themselves. And thank you for Kentuckiana Works and to Michael for partnering with us. We are so excited to have this partnership. And thank you to Ty Handy and the JCTC team for having us here, because we could not be in a better place. And I'll add my thanks to Michael's, to Mayor Fisher, for chipping in some additional funding over what comes down to us from Washington to make it happen. We're going to do our very, very best to get the best possible results and open the most opportunities to the young people that we have now and all those that will come through our doors over the next few years. And we can't wait to do that with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy. Next, we're going to hear from one of the program managers who works here at the spot, Exacia Lawson Mays. Not only is Exacia a member of the team, but she's also the person who came up with the name for the program. So, Exacia, it's all yours.
Hello, everyone. So at first I wasn't going to maybe address me coming up with the name, but since the rumor is out, it's true. So a little bit of background behind the name. So when we were trying to figure out what to call this all-encompassing space for our young adults, in my head I thought about some of my childhood thinking about the spot. And so to some people who hear that term, for me, some of our young adults, it means one thing, like, you know, like your granny's house, your cousin's house, a place you go to hang out, to chill. But then to other people in the audience, the spot, the first thought is just a dot on a paper. And so, and we recognize that and I realize that. And so in coming to the table with that name, I was a little bit hesitant. So when I say this word, what are they going to think? What are they going to think around the room? And that's kind of what we have all of our young adults, you know, experience. Whenever I come into a room, walk into a space, what are they going to think? Are they going to understand my background, where I come from, or are they just going to take me at face value? When Ishmael walks into a room, what do they think of Ishmael? When Diamond walks into a room, what do they think of Diamond? And so for me, I had to, you know, shake off the dirt on my boots and say, you know what? The spot is the spot, and it is what it is, and they're going to see it for what it is. And so I said the name, I looked around, and there were smiles, and they said yes, and I could And so while I'm really gracious and happy that I was able to name the spot, the representation of what the spot means for our young adults and for what it can do for the community is that much more. And so I will go on to say that one of my biggest fears with naming the spot was kind of the thought of it gentrifying the terms. It was something that we all hold very dear and near to our hearts. And so if I'm going with Malika, I'm like, let's go to the spot, I don't want it to be a word that's taken from our culture and used for something else. And so in thinking about gentrification and all these things, I realized that when you gentrify something, you're kind of putting a Band-Aid on top of it, maybe waving around a Photoshop stick, and then boom, it turns into something else. But what the spot does is very different. We all know that through slavery, denial of civil rights, we are years and years and years, probably hundreds of years delayed on systematic freedom. There is constant systematic oppression facing very many people in the room, whether it's because of your race, sexual identity, your religious preferences, all those things. There are systematic barriers that are preventing people from being able to be who they want to be. And it is a blessing and an honor that I work for two organizations that want to do the work to help undermine some of those things. And so Kentuckiana Works wants to bring forth the dignity and the power of work, and Goodwill is all about barrier reductions, handing up, giving people a hand up instead of a handout. So if you bring these two pieces together, you get some trauma-informed work where people want to understand the barriers and the background as to why people do the way they do, not who people are. And so whenever I walk into a room and I say the spot, they want to know why the spot is the spot, why this means what it means to me. Otherwise, that message cannot be conveyed to anyone else. I have to stand in my truth and stand in my fullness. So when our young adults walk into the room and we try to do this thing where I sit down with them, I say, Ishmael, I'm going to ask you some questions. They're going to be kind of personal, but I promise you it's going to end up working out in the end. Or, Diamond, I'm going to ask you some questions, Diamond, okay? And I know about the kids and things like that, but you got to be honest with me so we can help you. And that's what barrier reduction is all about. Them coming to the table, bringing their full trust in us, giving us their full selves so we can create a plan for them. And so it's not asking anyone to come into a space and be something that they're not. It's not asking people to come into a space and tell us what they think we want to hear. It's just being them. So when walking into a space and saying we're going to the spot, it's not what I want Amy to think the spot is or what I want Dennis to think the spot is. It is what it is. It's a home and a place where our young adults can come and chill, be themselves, but also redefine what themselves is. And when they come in, we can help them with mental health help. We can help them with transportation, housing, a plethora of things. So following that self-sufficiency matrix that Goodwill has, we can knock off one by one the different barriers that systematic racism and oppression have delayed our young adults back from being able to have access to the successes that they want to have in the future. So it is an absolute honor and a pleasure to be one of the program managers here at the spot and to be able to continue to do this work. And it is more important to know that we can't do it alone. There are so many organizations throughout the city of Louisville that want to do the work. So many that want to be the organization in the city that is tasked to do the mental health work for young adults, to reduce the recidivism back into homelessness or into our prison or be back incarcerated. All these organizations want to do the work, and we understand that we don't have to be the ones to do it alone. The spot can infiltrate itself into different places. So here we are. This isn't a Goodwill building. It's not the Kentuckiana Works building. We are at JCTC's campus. So this is what it means to not do gentrification. This is what it means to go in and do the work that needs to be done. So here we are, coming around the parking lot, building A, second floor. That is where the spot is today. In a few weeks, in a few months, the spot can be embedded in another part of the city. In some years, the spot will be embedded in different places all throughout the state. But one thing will remain the same. The work that we're doing in each and every spot location will be the same. The impact that we want to have in each young adult's life will be the same. Why is it the same? Because when that young adult comes in, they let us know their barriers, they let us know their background, and they let us get a glimpse into the person they want to be. The people involved there, the mission that surrounds them will all be the same. So thank you all so much for allowing me to be able to speak. Thank you so much for welcoming our young adults into the space. Thank you for letting our staff and our directors and everyone else be able to be in that space, and thank you for giving me the ability to talk to you. So as I close, I know I said that we can't be the only ones doing the work. It's important to have allies. And so I won't even call people partners. We are allies in this work together because there's not one that can do without the other. And so we have Mary Hurst as an ally right now. Kentucky and Works and Goodwill are allies together. YMCA is a present ally for us. And there will be many, many more. And so we welcome you to our team, to our family, and to build an allyship with us. As of right now, it can only be done via phone call. You can email, you can text. Because we'd love to invite you upstairs to be an ally. However, we're going to have to delay grand opening until the spring. So you see anyone in a spot shirt that's black and gold, reach out to them, ask them their story, ask them their name. Come to our young adults, ask them their stories and their names, because those stories and those names are what keep us up here. It's the only way that we can do the revitalization work that we need to make the community better. And it is the reason why the spot is the spot. So thank you for coming to the spot. Thanks for coming into our home, and welcome aboard.
That's it. Come on. We covered a lot of territory there. That's important, right? Because it's so multifaceted, from centuries of oppression and discrimination to opportunities that face people each and every day. But ultimately, it's all tied together. That's the only way we can get through the challenges that society has thrown at us. So thank you, Nation, for your leadership and everybody on the spot team. Now, this larger space here is going to allow the spot to meet the high demand it's already seeing and to better serve its clients. And I know the staff and the young people, you can see that, are very excited about the new headquarters here. And the location is important. This has been pointed out several times already. I'm a broken record, on the way to break the cycle of poverty. I've mentioned that before, a credential, a degree, whatever. Where that happens in our city is important. One of the premier places it happens is the Jefferson Community and Technical College. So their support and leadership is also critical in making the spot successful. So Dr. Ty Andy, their CEO, is with us today. Ty, give us some inspiration.
some months ago, I guess it was maybe 6 months ago, Telly, I'm trying to think about how long ago it was. Seems like not that long ago, Telly gives me a phone call and he says, we got an opportunity and this could be big. And Telly has, he's known for having big opportunities. But this one, he recognized right away the power of this partnership and what it could mean for individuals, for their success, and then also for the college, quite frankly, because these are the kind of students that we want to have here in our programs. We're 12,000 students strong each fall, and 6,000 of those students are seeking workforce education credentials or technical educations that lead to work. And the other 6,000 are seeking associate degrees that transfer to a four-year university and lead to a bachelor's degree and then to work. And so we offer the best of both worlds to get people started. But we struggle because we're not wealthy, we're not a huge university, and we struggle to break down the barriers for our students. And so it takes the community coming together to be able to do that. And I'm pleased to be a part of the Louisville community, Mayor Fisher and what he and his team have done in terms of stepping up to sort of to recognize that it's going to take the community to break down these barriers. Rena and Goodwill, we've been great partners for a long time. And the work they do is God's work. It's important work, and it makes a difference in individual lives, but just as important, it makes a difference in our community. So when Telly told me this, he said to me, I'm almost positive he said this, and I'm not stealing anything from you. He said, I think we have the perfect spot. And it didn't take long for him to convince me that it was right here on this campus, because we have programs here that lead to livable wages, that lead to sustainable jobs, jobs that aren't going to disappear, jobs in HVAC and contracting work, in automotive technology, in not necessarily on this campus, but in aviation maintenance, in industrial technology and welding, in nursing and allied health, and then all those transfer opportunities leading to those bachelor's degrees at our local universities. And so being co-located here is an opportunity for us, but more importantly, it's an opportunity for you. And I look forward to seeing you around campus taking advantage of those opportunities, because they're going to pay off in the long run. You've got a bright future ahead of you, and you're going to be pleased and proud with what you experience and what you're able to do. So I'm just proud to be a partner here, and I want to say thanks, and I want to welcome you, the spot, to this campus, and look forward to its growth, its development, and most importantly, its success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Handy. Yes, the spot is the word of the day, and the spot is in the 4th District. We've got 26 districts and the Metro Council. Our 4th District council person is Corey Arthur. I want to thank the councilman for many things he's doing, but in particular, you have been a strong leader, strong ally for investment in youth and young adult programming in our community. That voice has really been amplified by your presence on the council, and is making a huge difference in our community. So please welcome Councilman Corey Arthur.
You all heard so much today. And since we're at an educational institution, since I am also a professor at an educational institution in addition to a council person, I want to give y'all some homework. And the homework is easy. Where we are today, this opportunity, this need being met, this is without a doubt an outlet. You know, I wish I had. This is an outlet that so many of our young brothers and sisters need across this county and beyond. But the outlet just simply existing is not enough if people don't use it, if you don't take advantage of it, if you don't plug into it. An outlet without the plug is really just a hole in the wall, and you can take that however you want. So we have media here, and we have all sorts of other people here with media devices. So your homework is to plug the spot. Take photos, take videos, take notes, and please make sure when you leave this space, you tell as many people as you possibly can, not just today, but beyond today, about what is happening here, about this opportunity here. Oftentimes, when you grow up where I grew up, when you live where I live, you feel like you're lost, you feel like you have nothing. This is something. An institution that we opened not too long ago at 12th and Jefferson, the Village, that is something. The Office for Youth Development, the Louisville Youth Network, that is something. We have all of these opportunities, but unfortunately, so many people don't know about it. And I just said recently when we talked about investment in expanding Waterfront Park that government can invest, but we really need community to help with the rest. And you are that community. So please, your homework today and beyond is to plug the spot. If you run into a young person that has a need, maybe they need a job, tell them about the spot. If you run into a young person who's getting caught up in the court system, tell them about the spot. If you have a young person who maybe didn't finish school and they need to go back and get that GED, tell them about some of y'all forgot. Please plug it in, all right? Plug it in. If you do not, we do not use our full potential of a word that I like to use often, which is power. And some of y'all get that later. When you take that plug and you put it in the outlet, you start using your power. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman. So, as the Councilman just said, our city's investment in the spot, along with expanded investments for our Office of Youth Development and then our Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods. Let's recognize Dr. Monique Williams, who's with us here today. She runs the Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods. They're making a difference. Now the question is, how much difference will they make? And they have the potential to make even more difference. So the programs are out there, they're funded like never before because of the programs we've designed, funding support from the council, the American Rescue Plan dollars that have come from the federal government. So I'm hoping we're going to be going through kind of a golden age of renaissance and rebirth in our city if we all take advantage of these programs to move our city to another level, and that happens one person at a time, one day at a time, kid, right? And just taking it one day at a time as well. You add all that up, good things can happen. So I just encourage you all to do that, whether you're young adults here, everybody here, right? One day at a time is what moves us all forward. Every young person in our city deserves an opportunity for greatness. And that greatness, most all the time, goes through a classroom. There's rare exceptions to that. But you cannot go wrong going through a classroom and filling your mind with new thoughts and new ways to move forward. The team at the spot here is 100% committed to that vision. You've seen the excitement and the energy here in the room. So if you or someone you know is ages 16 to 24 and in need of services offered here, please reach out today. And our TV crew, if y'all can run that on your crawler, how to do that, what I'm about ready to say, we'd appreciate that. You can call 502-574-4115 or visit thespotky.org. The new headquarters we're here at today is located at 800 West Chestnut Street in downtown. And they also have a location in West Louisville at the NIA Center, as well as in Bullitt and Henry counties. So let's spread the word and come on down to the spot, all right? All right, so now I understand we're going to be cutting a ribbon. Is that right? Okay, here we go, okay. And if we could have our young adults come on up here if you're in the spot. Let's have a big ribbon. And staff, everybody, come on up here.
Funny. All right, y'all. That wraps it up, I think, for us here at the press conference. But I do want to talk to the man who was sitting behind me just a minute ago. He's chatting here with somebody, but he's the one who was telling me how to spell Exation's name, and he was very sweet. And I said, I want to talk to you when we're done here. And hopefully we'll. Hey, man, it's been a while. Hopefully he'll come over for just a second and talk to us about his involvement with the spot. Hang tight with me for a minute. No, I need you to stay right where you are, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around, and that way the microphone and the camera on the same side, see? All right, so talk to me a little bit about your involvement with the spot. Give us your name, if you will.
My name is Chartrell Hall, Chartrael.
Love it.
Hall.
Love it.
I'm the RISE facilitator here at the spot. And so what that means, they go through 3 programs. They go through the first part where they come in with soft skills. My partner Sammy Byron, he takes them through etiquette, how to be on the job, proper speech. You want to make sure that you touch on the little things. Then they go from there, they go to Good Start, where they touch a number of our career coaches and managers, where they learn how to put together a resume.
Nice.
They learn computer skills. They have applied digital skills, where they can get a free laptop so they complete that course. So they learn everything there is logistically, because we're moving to a technological time. So you're on your phone right now, doing a live stream. So they learn about all of those things in coding. Then they come to me, the final piece of the spot, which is called Rise. And they will come to me, and we will polish them up. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. We'll touch on everything that will inspire them and empower them, so they're ready to go out and be the leaders that we know they are, to be the workers, to be the entrepreneurs. And so from there, they then will transition with their career coach, who works with them one-on-one personally, and I ask them what it is that you want to do.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna come back. I'd love to come back and talk to some of the folks who are actually taking advantages of the programs here at the spot with their permission, and just kind of continue to showcase you. Because as Victoria Arthur just said, if you don't keep it visible, it fades away. So you definitely want to keep it visible.
You got to keep that spotlight, right?
Thank you.
Spotlight on there. So get my information. Anytime you guys want to come down, just let me know. And
do you have a number, an email, or a number that you like people to call to get in touch with you? Social media? How do you do it?
Social media, we're putting together the spot Rise social media. But the best way to just reach me right now would be simply 502-224-4510. Because if you're calling, it's something to do with the youth, it's something to do with these young adults. So call me, leave a voicemail, let me know what you got. We'll bring you in, because we have a lot of guest speakers, different businesses, different corporations, different individuals. We got Exation right here. We got Exation right here.
Let me slow down a little bit for you.
Awesome job.
So nice to meet you, and thank God you spoke. That was awesome. Give us that number one more time that you want us to call to reach you.
502-224-4510.
Perfect. We appreciate appreciate it. Thank you. It's Chartrell.
Chartrell.
I love it. I'm Tara. Nice to meet you. Tara Bass.
Tara Bass.
Nice to meet you. Have a good one. Thank you. Okay, you guys, that's pretty much a wrap for us right here. We're going to be following this amazing program. It's called The Spot. It's a young adult opportunity location right here on the JCTC campus, and I'll show you what they're doing right now. They're actually doing some general pictures. They're getting all the folks who are here into the sport. Here we go.
Yeah, true, and I'm willing to learn. I like learning. I like learning new things. Are you part of this program?
Right in front of
Yes, ma'am.
the backdrop, which is really nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're all right. So that's going to wrap it for us right now. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you very much. Just wanted to bring you this great opportunity, and make sure that you spread the news about the spot. Very, very important to talk about it. We don't want it to go the way of the living room and other great programs that just did not get the exposure and the coverage that they needed on a regular basis. And that's why I said I want to come back and talk to some of the folks who are taking advantage of the programming that is available here at this Young Adult Opportunity Campus at JCTC, which is at 800 West Chestnut. And we very much hope that especially those 16 to 24 is the age range, will take advantage of all of the services that Chartrell was just explaining, the services that are available. There's a lot of the staff popping in to the picture, which is really fun. So, yeah, thanks a lot for joining me, you guys. How you doing? Good to see you. So, thanks a lot for joining us, you guys. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on today. And please take advantage of the opportunities offered here for age 16 to 24-year-olds. JCTC's campus at 800 West Chestnut. That's Spot.